Hi everyone, welcome to Krannert Art Museum Yoga. I am Jodi, this is Phoenix. I'm happy to lead you through class today. It's going to be kind of a chill class. We're going to do a little more restful poses today, just because it's the season. We're kind of downshifting into a winter season, thinking in terms of more of that hibernation. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. We can rest, we can take pause. We've been given ample opportunity to take pause in our lives, just slow down a little bit, and really just instead of fighting that, think about embracing that. So I hope you enjoy practice with me today. So we are going to need a couple blocks, maybe a kitty cat. You can have your strap. I just use a scarf. You can use a blanket. You can come to seated on your blanket. And then I like to have a bolster or like a firm cushion from the couch just to sit on, just for support. So finding your way to seated. Just a sense of rooting down and grounding, especially when everything seems so uncertain. It's beautiful to come to this practice and know that you are fully held and supported by yourself, by your props, by the earth. So just a moment to root down, to ground, center, connect, letting just cares of the day wash away for a moment. Taking a cleansing breath in through the nose. Open the mouth, exhale, releasing. Conscious release of all of the tension you might be holding in the body. Inhale, breathing in. Exhale, finding that release. And again, if that feels good, one more time, inhaling. And exhaling. Just return to a natural rhythm of breath. For a moment, soften the body, soften all the muscles that don't need to be engaged right now. Around the eyes, forehead, around the jaw, shoulders, arms. Relax any gripping of the breath. Creating space, opening to receive the breath. You soften into the ribs, soften into the belly. Think about creating a peaceful sanctuary on your mat. Excuse me. You can form an intention for this practice, really setting the tone for the practice. You can bring palms together at the heart once you have something in mind, just sealing that within. Starting to interlace the fingers, bow the head, press the palms away from you. Rocking back, rounding the spine, finishing an exhalation. Then inhale, bring the arms in, bend the elbows, lift the gaze, arch the spine. Exhale, rounding the knuckles towards the front of the room, bow the head, tuck the tailbone. And inhaling, opening, pressing the palms away from you, really extending through the elbows. Rounding and bowing, inhaling, arching, slightly lift the gaze, flipping the hands around, knuckles forward, rounding as you exhale. Inhale, reaching, arching. This time as you press the palms, reaching them up, open through the side waist. Think about creating space between the hips and the shoulders. And for a moment, crowding the shoulders up towards the ears. Inhale, and then exhale, relax the shoulders back down, rooting the arm bones and the shoulder sockets. Inhale, reaching. And exhale, softening. A couple more times like that. Think about reaching the arms back and up. Starting to warm up the shoulders. One more time, inhale, and then as you exhale, float the arms down alongside the body like you're moving through water. And from here, pressing the left palm into the earth, inhale the right arm up, exhale over. Inhale, reaching long through the spine, grounding that right palm, exhale over to that right side. Keeping the left sit bone heavy. And then just sway from side to side. Move with the breath. Doesn't have to be perfectly synchronized with the breath, but keep the breath in awareness. Maybe even pausing, breathing into a sweet spot that you found, so you don't have to necessarily flow with the breath. Though that can be good to help ground us and center us if the energy feels scattered. It's nice to have that guiding force. At the same time, just honoring what you need here. You can think about reaching beyond your own physical body. As you reach long through the arm, long through the fingertips, as if you've grown a little taller, a little longer. Just another sway from side to side. And arriving back through center, beginning to take rolls through the shoulders, up, back and down. And here as well, be in no hurry, just really noticing the body, starting to warm up. Notice where you've been holding tension in the body, letting that go. One more time, rolling through shoulders, up, back, and down. You can plant the palms alongside the hips. I'm still on my blanket, which is fine. I'm just bringing the fingers below the blanket, extending through the legs, arching through the spine. Think about pressing into fingertips and knuckles. Creating some space in the front of the body. Actively squeeze the shoulder blades along the spine and the back body. Taking a couple of breaths here. And shifting off of the palms, bringing the soles of the feet together. So just an easy cobbler's pose. Tall spine, open heart, driving the knees towards the earth. Engaging the feet together, engaging the pelvic floor, the low core, very active. So you're drawing the knees down towards the earth energetically. Breathing through that effort. One more breath. And then just relax and soften through the legs. A moment here, head is heavy. And sway the head gently from side to side. Coming back through center. And lifting the gaze, the chin parallel to the earth. And this time pressing the palms or even the forearms on top of the knees or thighs and drive the knees as if they could touch together. Engage the pelvic floor, engage the core, press the soles of the feet together. Breathing. No tension in the face, all the efforting happening in the lower extremities, lower core. One more breath. And then relaxing through the legs. Just a moment here. Again, you can bow the head. You can even bow the torso slightly forward, feeling that exaggerated stretch of the inner legs, maybe of the back. Maybe swaying through the torso a bit from side to side if that feels good. So still feeling a little bit of the stiffness in the body, especially if this is the first time you've moved all day. So just be easy with yourself. We're just warming up. Another sway from side to side. Arriving back through center, grow the spine tall, everything in your own time, at your own pace. Palms pressing to the outer edges of the knees, draw the knees closer together and then shifting off of your blanket. That can just come to the side. The palms again alongside the hips, the feet can go wide. We're just starting to massage under the glutes by shifting the weight from side to side, a little bit of a sway of the knees from side to side, and then over time, those movements can become bigger sweeps of the legs from side to side. And then over to the right side. You can tuck that left shin underneath you, keeping hold of the left shin. The right arm relaxes as you release the weight of the body over to the right side, including the weight of the head. So you're really getting that beautiful opening on the left side of the shoulder. Soften through the face, the jaw. You can start to rock the head back and forth. Breathe. Maybe closing the eyes, that helps draw the awareness within. So many distractions with that gift of sight, so always close the eyes or soften the gaze. And then begin to release the gaze down, chin towards the collarbone. You can stay here, breathing here, or creating little circles with the nose. Again, jaw is relaxed. Circling the opposite direction. Head heavy. Just a few breaths here. Just finding your sweet spot, whatever you needed. One more breath. Aligning the neck with the rest of the spine, and then just shifting the weight of the body over to that right side so you can extend the left leg out. Moment here to flex and point through the foot. So a lot happening here, opening up through the ankle, through that joint, the calf, back of the thigh, the hamstrings. A moment to spread the toes, setting up nice and tall. And relaxing through the toes, but keep the toes skyward, the center of the heel rounds, the quad active, and then rotate as if the side body, that left side body, could just drape over the leg. You can press the inner, or the forearm into the inner leg. You can stay here, really pressing that right thigh down, getting that beautiful side body stretch. It's nice if you've been sitting all day. Few breaths here. You can also float that right arm up and over. Breathe. One more breath here. And then reaching that right arm up, finding alignment in the spine. Relax the arms down. You can rock back. Bending both knees, planting the feet, and rocking the legs from side to side. And then the knees will release over to that left side. The right shin tucks underneath you, keeping hold of that shin. The left side, relaxing, bowing to the left, including the weight of the head. Breathing here. You can start to create some movement, rocking the head back and forth. Think about creating space in the body through movement, through breath. At the same time, observing where there's resistance. Just honoring that, easing into the movements. And start to change the head position, gazing down, chin more towards the collarbone. Again, your invitation to stay or creating those circles, increasing that range of motion. Circling in the opposite direction. a few breaths to just open what you need. Finding stillness, finding quiet, using the breath. One more breath. Find the alignment in the neck with the spine, rocking more towards that left side to free up the right leg. Because it's been compressed for so long, it's going to feel real good to flex and point through that foot to create that free-flowing energy through the extremities. You can roll the ankle. In both directions. Stilling the movement. And then again, rotating so that right side body is more in line with the right leg, pressing that right forearm to the inner thigh. You can really press down onto that left thigh. Opening up, I'm feeling that in my outer hip, I'm feeling that in my side body. So if you've been sitting a lot, traveling, maybe for the holidays, eating a lot, lots of forgiveness if the body is not feeling quite up to par. There's a lot of stress happening. There's a change in the weather. You can float that left arm up and over if that feels appropriate for your body. Just a few more breaths. And then inhaling that left arm up, aligning through the spine, relaxing that left arm down, and use it so you can just prop yourself up and extend through the legs. So from here, you can just flex and point through both feet. And begin to bend the knees, make sure there's plenty of room back behind you, finding your strap. You can stay here with the hands to the backs of the thighs, grow the spine tall. You can float the shins parallel to the earth. You can lengthen the legs, maybe floating arms up. Either way, there's core strength happening all the way down onto the mat. You can arrive. Let's take a full body stretch. So arms long, legs long, length of those props. Spread the fingers, spread the toes. Breathing in through the nose, releasing out through the mouth. Again, that energetic release. Every exhalation, an opportunity to release tension from the body. Just think about that as you continue your practice. Finding your strap. And then placing that strap just on the balls of both feet. As the feet go skyward, you can have softness to the knees, you can have space between the legs. You can even place a block between the legs if that feels more appropriate for you to help with that spacing. This can be, again, it's all about that support. We might not think we need it, but the body, the nervous system feels quite at home when it's fully supported in these ways. Less of a death grip on the strap. Just a gentle hold, and then lifting the heels skyward. So even with a softness to the knees and a lift of the heels, I'm getting beautiful stretch, more so in the calves here. Relax the shoulders. Maybe again closing the eyes, or just elevating the legs, reversing gravity. Some effort to maintain that stretch. One more breath. So if you've got the block between the knees, you can just set that off to the side. starting to bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet together, knees splay out to the side. And then just delivering the pinky toe edges of the feet to the earth. So if you like, again, that support. I'm all about support lately. With props, with blocks, you can place the blocks under the knees. Stretch the arms up overhead, taking hold of either elbow. Let the belly be soft. Feel the rise and the fall of the breath in the belly. Really let the shoulders become heavy, the head heavy. Knees heavy towards the earth without efforting. Taking 3 more deep breaths here. And as always, adjusting the props as the body opens or needs more support. And start to float the arms down alongside the body, and props can come off to the side if you use them. Maybe the strap is still in the same position. Wouldn't that be a nice thing? And you can just extend the legs skyward once again. And this time we're purposefully extending the legs, separating them nice and wide as is comfortable. Relax the shoulders. Again, less of a tight grip, more of just support, and maybe rocking the legs from side to side. Hopefully you don't have a couch in your way like I do. Think about the back body being supported, the head continuing to be supported. You can always return to a place of stillness, and again, just 3 deep breaths here. Before you move, think about toning the muscles of the legs to draw the legs closer together. You can move the strap to the side, bend the knees, plant the feet, palms alongside the hips, and start to tuck the tailbone. Exhale, press the low spine into the earth. Inhale, relax and soften. And exhale, that pressing, maybe a little bit more of the pelvis lifts away from the earth, and then exhale, releasing back down. Exhale, press, lifting, inhale, relaxing, press as you exhale, lifting, and stay here, stay in this baby bridge, just stretching the front of the body, those hip flexors, engaging the glutes, engaging the hamstrings. One more inhalation, maybe a bit more lengthening to lift. Exhale, releasing down. Ride that breath down. And soften for a moment. Just be in presence with yourself, with your breath. And then start to draw the knees into the chest. We will use our strap once again. So, begin to release the knees over to the right. You can find your strap. And you're going to place that strap at the ball of the left foot. Left foot extends out. You have hold of that strap with the right hand. Left arm extends out to the left side, maybe gazing over that left shoulder. So, beautiful twisting, mobility of the spine. Opening of the ribs, so much happening here. You can feel, hopefully, that stretch in that outer hip. So that strap really helps to support that particular stretch. You can change the left arm position, so maybe even more of a diagonal cross body stretch. Feel this expanded, energizing stretch from the core, just radiates out to the extremities. So a few breaths here. Notice where you can soften a bit more, maybe exploring a deeper breath. One more breath. You can start to feed more of the strap out as you start to draw that leg, that left leg down towards the mat. At the same time, you're floating that right knee skyward, grounding the right foot to the earth. You can keep hold of the strap just so you have it close by. As you bend both knees, hug them into the chest. Take a little rock from side to side. And then again, we'll do the same thing on the other side. So, you can roll over to the left, and strap affixed to the right foot. Right arm extends out to the right side. Make any adjustment you need to, maybe a prop or a block or something between the knees is necessary. I've got this couch holding up my leg, which is actually kind of working for me. You could have something under the right shoulder if you find that the shoulder's lifted and maybe it's too much of a stretch on that joint. So we'll just be here for some breaths, some moments. You can also be more energetic in the stretch. You can actively draw that right hip as if it's moving away from the right shoulder. You're creating more space on that right side. You can press the sole of the right foot into the strap and really create that expansion, that feeling of expanded energy. You can deepen your breath, or you can just ride it out, just rest and breathe. So even in a guided practice, you can really just offer yourself what you need. Adjust as you need. Notice any gripping. Just a couple more breaths here. Bring the gaze skyward, just a neutral neck. Start to, again, drive that foot away from you and eventually travel it down to the bottom of the mat. At the same time, you're drawing that left knee skyward, planting the left foot. As you bend that right knee, you can just place the strap to the side, hug the knees into the chest. This time, independently circle the knees out and away from one another and then back together. Circle in the opposite direction. From here, planting the feet, you can roll gently to either side. And then find yourself in a child's pose. So take your time to arrive, be in no hurry. Flipping onto front side of the body, supporting the head, maybe with props, maybe with a block, maybe hands like a pillow. One more breath. You can start to reach the arms long, lift the gaze to the fingers, elbows lift. Lift the hips. Press the mat away to lengthen the spine and lift the knees, lift the hips skyward. You can pedal out through feet here. Bending knees, sway the hips, maybe sway the head. Finding stillness, one more breath. Shifting forward to plank. You can have knees to the earth, inhale, preparing, exhale, lowering down. Coming into your Sphinx, just propping yourself up on your forearms. Just for a moment, open through the heart. Open through the front of the body, those hip flexors opening, the core, the front of the body, core opening. Draw shoulder blades down the back. And just one more breath here. And see how much strength you can, well, you have a lot of strength, but use that back body core. See how high you can stay lifted in the back body. Press the palms under the shoulders and then start to draw the low belly in and up. Engage the core, pressing the mat away, rocking back into your child's pose. One more breath here. And then lifting up to a tabletop position. You can cross at the ankles, rolling over the shins. Just coming through seated. Making sure, once again, you've got plenty of room back behind you on the mat. Coming through your variation of your boat pose. Anything that feels appropriate for your body. We've been taking it pretty easy today. Maybe you need that. Arriving, bend the knees, plant the feet wide, arms into goalpost arms. Inhale, center. And then exhale, knees to the right, gaze to the left. So again, we're opening up the front of the body, the left hip in particular. You can drive the left knee away from you. A couple of deep breaths here. Take your time. You can float the knees through center, let them rest against one another. Just soften and open. Think about the chest opening, the heart opening. One more inhalation. Exhale, knees over to the left, gazing to the right. Again, you can energetically drive that right knee, that right hip away from the right shoulder, creating that space. Couple more breaths. Beginning to draw the knees back through center, let them rest against one another. And separate the knees, heel to toe the feet close together. You can hug the knees into the chest, or you can come into happy baby. So maybe you're here rocking from side to side, or maybe the soles of the feet go skyward. You can have deep bends to the knees. You may feel good to rock from side to side, maybe lengthening one leg, then the other. Just a couple more breaths wherever you're at. And then preparing for shavasana. So you can always have an eye pillow, that can be nice. The bolster is nice, or even a firm cushion from your couch. You can even use blankets and make a bolster. But you can place this under the knees, feet wide. So the legs are wide on it, tuck shoulders under the back body, arms alongside the body. You can have something on top of you. So You can rest with comfort, with support. It can even be nice, again, for just the nervous system to have that. So even if you're not cold, just to have a little bit of weight and pressure. It's that same principle of those weighted blankets. Just kind of keeps us cocooned and warm. Arms alongside. Backs of the hands resting, fingers curling. Just a moment to rock the head from side to side, opening the neck. One final little release of tension as you eventually find your way to stillness, symmetry, and rest. Begin to notice the breath. Bring the awareness back to the space. And start to explore movements, fingers and toes, just reawakening the body. Ankles, wrists. Deepening the breath. You can open and close the mouth as you stretch the arms long overhead, maybe into a yawn, into a cleansing breath, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Bending knees. Let the feet plant on the earth or your bolster or pillow. And take your time. Beginning to roll gently to either side. Just make a pillow with the arm for the head, belly soft, knees bent. With closed eyes or soft gaze, begin to press up to seated. You can have a rounded spine and a heavy head. Just a moment to sit. Again, that rooting down, connecting to the earth, to yourself, perhaps feeling a bit more connected to yourself. Find that energetic lift in the spine, an open heart. Bringing hands to the heart. Taking something with you from this practice into your day. Perhaps a new intention, a new energy, new insight. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you next week.